Live on WFLA now. Feel good and live your best life with Bloom Health Club. Here's Gail Guayardo.
All right, this next podcast is going to leave everybody with the burning question. Is there anything he can't do? We are super excited that model, actor, and serial entrepreneur Antonio Sabàto Jr. is back with us in the Bloom Health Club to talk about his latest adventure, boxing.
Boxing, yeah. I've been wanting to do, and this is a real boxing fight that I'm doing on December 7th in the Bahamas against Joe Judas. I'm going to be boxing him, and I've been wanting to do this a long time, and I wanted to push myself. I wanted to challenge myself. I've been boxing my whole life. I've been sparring my whole life, and a lot of other guys, and I've been asked to box some dudes, and I'm like, hey, you know what? Let's make it an event. I want to fight the Paul brothers. All these guys, all these YouTubers are fighting and creating some big buzz, and they can't even box. I actually take pride in boxing and the sweet science, and what we do is quite different and unique, and how we train with me and my training in my camp. So I want to bring that stuff out because I miss the boxing of Sugar Ray Leonard back in the 80s. I miss boxers that were really high on their feet and stick and move and just high energy, and they looked fantastic, and they just kept moving, and there was a show. Now it's just two guys banging it up, squaring it off, and who hits the hardest, or you get the best shot, and it's over. There's no finesse, there's no movement, there's stick and move, there's no Muhammad Ali, there's none of that. And as an Italian guy who loves boxing and what I've been doing my whole life, I want to bring that, and I want to bring a little bit of the finesse that has been missed.
And you are going to go into hardcore training, and I'm sure I'm not even close to your level, but for many, many years, I was trained to box with a guy that tore his rotator cuff in Madison Square Garden, came down to Tampa, and we were literally in a hot warehouse, up in a ring, and it is the most grueling workout. But to your point, it's a mind game too. I mean, you've got to know. It's almost like you're playing chess.
It's a game, and you got to win that game. It's not just about hitting hard. It's about stamina, lungs, stick and move combinations, staying out of the way, hit and not get hit, using the entire ring. There's just a finesse and a beauty about the boxing world and what we created. My trainer has taught me for such a long time that I have never seen that in the professional boxing world, because they pretty much, like I said, box the same style, and the guy who hits the hardest, who would maybe train a little bit harder, wins. But I'm more of the 80s, that's Hagler, Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard. Those are my guys, and I want to bring some of that. And so I'm 52. I'm going to do it now. I'm not going to do it never. And I've been training for years, as you know, but now I'm going to take it to a whole new level. I've been training actually on my own for about 3 months now, and it's been 7 days a week, all the time, 4 hours a day, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon, and I'm just devoted to boxing. I want to shock the world, and you never know, if I'm asked from one of these Paul brothers or these guys, these YouTubers, to fight, I'm there. I'm going to be ready. I'm ready now. I can fight any of these guys today.
I love it. It's like the challenge is here. It's happening now, right on the Bloom Health Club. Yeah, I want to bring in our Brody Waddell, who heads up all of Bloom Tampa Bay. Right. Good to see you, my friend. You're in the mixed martial arts. You can relate to all of this.
I am. I too have fought in a ring and stuff like that. It's extremely difficult. That's why it's hard to balance, man. Like, you have to give up a whole lot. Like, I'm interested in how you find that. Have you started your camp yet, or what's your plan on that?
Camp will start in October. I'm starting a film in Detroit called 426. It's a horror film that I'm shooting there, and then after that, camp will start in October and November, and then December 7th is the fight. Obviously, camp is different than what I'm doing, but I've been really pushing myself because me and my trainer have been in contact since this has been announced. So we've been kind of just working our way up, because my lungs and my footwork, I'll be able to do 15 to 20 rounds, and I'll probably do like 6 rounds with this guy. So I'll demolish him. I'll destroy him slowly but surely. I'll stick and move, and I'll pick him apart. But I also want to showcase for next year, because I really want to fight bigger guys. I want to fight real boxers, guys that have a good record, and showcase what I got. And I know I can pull it off.
Yeah.
This is incredible. And Antonio is actually going to be on Bloom, our globally syndicated health and wellness show that is headquartered here in Tampa, Florida, on Wednesday. talking about new seasons in life, because fall is right around the corner, and Antonio is a guy that has reinvented himself from his days as a model in, Janet Jackson videos, General Hospital. I mean, you name it. You've done race car driving. There's so much that you do. And I always like to jump into your mind a little bit to figure out how you were able to reinvent yourself and live life to the fullest like you do.
I just appreciate and thank God every day for the blessings that I have and the life that I have. And I try to tell that to my kids and to the people that ask the same questions as you're asking, how you do it. And it's just, it's that will to never give up. Life is precious. Dreams are precious. Things that you want to achieve should be achieved with hard work and dedication. So never get too lazy, never give up, never listen to the naysayers. They tell you not to do it. You're too old, you're this or that, your career, whatever it may be that is negative, delete it and move on. You got to do what you got to do, because I don't ever want to be in a place down the line and go, I wish I would have done that, and I'm too old, or I could have done this, I could have done that. I'm doing what I want to do, what I think is right for me, and I also want to push myself. It's interesting. Life is about pushing yourself to new ventures, and you want to showcase your talent. You want to showcase what you're all about, and I think boxing is pretty much the place for me to really showcase a lot of things that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and challenge these guys and see what happens, who are much younger than me. So if I can outlast the Paul brothers, it doesn't matter. I'm always going to win. If I can outlast them, and if I can knock them out, or I can do what I can do, which I know I can, it's always about the winning game. You know what I mean? Staying on top. Yeah.
Now, when you make these life transitions, do you give yourself breaks, or do you always have one vine ready to hold on to before you grab a hold or let go of the other one?
I'm ready for anything at all times. That's why I'm always training. I'm always staying active every day, because I never know what kind of film I'm going to be doing, or what kind of challenge I'm going to be faced with. So I'm always going to be physically ready for anything, and that's the most, without injuries. And that's pretty, and having a good lifestyle and eating right and sleeping. There's just a lot of elements to keeping everything going, because, as we get older, we kind of give up on some things. And I don't think it's necessarily true. I don't think you need to give up on anything. I think you can still have all those things. You just got to plan right and be ready and physically ready, so you don't get hurt.
Yeah, and I love, your thought process that we really don't need to put an expiration date on ourselves, because you're in some of the best shape you've been in your entire life. Yeah. I like to think I am too. I mean, speaking of getting rid of negativity, I posted a picture at the gym, and this fella logged on and goes, "You're looking good for an old broad." I'm like, delete,
right?
Delete, get rid of you. No, you don't need anybody getting in your head.
Yeah.
No.
You don't need to let people get into your head, because all you got to do is keep moving forward in life.
Yeah, you got to move forward in life, and you got to just be able to be so strong that if you see things that drag you down, or things that are negative in your life, you got to be able to delete those things right away. And it takes time and work, but once you get to that point, it's like anything else, you'll be able to delete everything, and it won't affect you as much. Like, it doesn't affect me at all. Like, for me, if somebody says, well, you can't beat it, you can't do this, you can't, I'm going to train harder.
Yeah, that just fuels the flame.
Yeah, because I want to do it so bad. And I think that's the drive that I want to showcase my children is it's never over. It's never over, because if you start thinking that it might be over for something, or something that is precious to you, whatever that may be, then it keeps piling up to the point where you're going to give it up. And life is about achieving and making things possible before it's really over. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Before life is over, before God calls it quits. And until that happens, I'm just going to do everything that I feel is right for me. And also, like I said, I want to be one of those dads that be like, my dad is doing this and that, and your dad ain't doing it. So
right.
Because it's hard. It's hard to get up in the morning and train at my age. It's hard. I'm going to fight a guy for real. Life is hard no matter how you see it. But if you look at it as a challenge, and you look at it as, I might not get there as soon as I want, but I'm going to just do slowly but surely every day. I'm going to discard everything that slows me down, and I'm going to achieve everything I want to achieve.
Right.
One day at a time.
Antonio, I have a question for you, and maybe this isn't something that you've ever thought about, but it's kind of related to what we were just talking about. Have you thought about it all, like, or like mentally prepared for like sort of the inevitable process of like aging or getting to a point where you're not going to be where you were before? So, for example, like some people, they just think falling apart's going to be something that happens, or maybe I think it affects people differently. Like, allow me to speak sort of off the cuff here. Like, if you were never that pretty, if you were never that handsome, you know what I mean, as a woman or as a man, like maybe it doesn't affect you as much. But when you are somebody who's like part of your identity is like, I've always been in shape, I've always been so good looking, like when you get into like real age and you're not like that anymore, like what do we like? How do you prepare for that?
I gave myself, to me, everything is more than the way I look and the way I feel. It's my spirit. It's who I am as a person. It's my connection with God. It's a lot of things that make me and drive to do the things that I want to do, because I could have given up a lot of things a long time ago, but I just don't have it in me. But I don't think there's ever going to be a time where I'm just going to wake up one morning and go, I'm old. It's just never going to happen. I'm not that. I don't have that DNA in me. I could be 90 years old, and if the challenge is there, I'm always going to train no matter what. Even if, I'm just going to keep on training no matter what happens, and I'm going to overcome those challenges. Whatever, I had challenges. I had challenges. I had a huge infection in my right hand that I caught here in the ocean many years ago, and I almost lost my entire hand. I had surgeries on my hand. I almost lost my fingers, my sensation. I couldn't use. I basically wouldn't have had my right hand. But I fought for it. And I like I said, I had 2 years of my life where I couldn't use my right hand.
Wow.
And
Are you right-handed?
Yeah, I'm right-handed to ride, but I box with both hands. But anyway, I couldn't use it.
Right.
I still trained. I still trained, and I still did it. I broke one of my ribs over here racing. I still raced. I have a lot of bruises, a lot of things that could have stopped me over the years. Surgeries and things that I've done that never stopped me. I'm always going to be confident in myself. I'm always going to achieve the things no matter what happens, even if I'm on a wheelchair somewhere. And as long as I can have the will to breathe and move forward, I'm going to keep going. And that's it. That's just who I am. And I think there's nothing I can do about it. It's just part of who I am. And I think if I don't have that drive, I actually lose a part of myself, and I don't feel good. I have to push myself and drive myself to do things that are probably not, something that most people would do, but that's just who I am. It's what I want to do.
That's good. I agree with you. It's all part of the mindset. I lost both of my parents. They were 87. It was cancer that took them. But I will tell you, to the day they died, they were in the best condition, emotionally, spiritually, physically. They were fun. Yeah. Obviously the disease ended up winning at the end, but I never looked at my parents ever and thought, man, they're getting old. I'm like, they've got so much life left in them, and both of them
and what
had.
Is old? The thing is, nowadays, old is it's just subjective, because you can see a guy in his 30s who doesn't take care of himself, who looks like in his 60s.
Right.
So he looks older than me, and he's younger than me. Or the same thing with anyone. It just doesn't matter if you give up on taking care. So really old, what is it 60 old? Is it 70 old? Is it 80 old? The girl that traveled and swam from Cuba to Florida, she was in their 60s or 70s. She was in the 70s, I believe. And the lady swam 90 miles. Would you swim 90 miles in an open ocean with things attacking you?
I'm not sure I could do 90 meters.
I think I do
right.
one.
So what is old? So the thing is, old is just subjective to what you see as old. But to me, it's just, I always ask them, so you think I'm old at 52, so it means you're younger than me, you're calling me old. So when you're 52, you're going to be old?
Right.
It's not going to feel good, right? Because 52 is young.
Yeah.
62 is young. It depends how you take care of yourself. So, but most important, I think the numbers in the age shouldn't count. What should count is the way you wake up in the morning. How do you feel? Who are you as a person? What are you doing for yourself? What are your dreams, your goals? Those are the things that make you live more and achieve those things. Travel, see the world, educate yourself. Not just fitness, but there's just so many things about that we don't know that I want. There's so many countries I want to visit, and places and see that culture and life is never give up on life. There's more to life always.
And you embrace family. You embrace your faith. You embrace everything that fuels you to carry yourself forward in life.
I try to. Yeah, I really try to surround myself with the positive. And if there is something that needs to be said, you come in with love and kindness. You don't come in judging. There's no judgment in my family or around us, because we try to help each other. Even when you don't want to hear the good stuff and there's something else coming your way, we care and we try to share that with caring. And I think people forget that because they just want to help, and they want to do this and want to do that without even caring for one another. And we're just not patient anymore. I think patience is also another thing that I've learned from training. It's take your time, patience, one day at a time. Today you can learn something, you can get better. If you're going through pain, you might go through pain tomorrow, but maybe at the end of the week you'll feel better, right? So it's just hope and faith helps me a lot, for sure.
We did this on the show. You'll see it on Wednesday, but can we bring in young Antonio,
Come here, bud.
the third? Here he comes.
Oh, man.
Antonio's handsome son. You can sit right there next to your dad. What is it like having a superstar like your dad?
I don't know. It feels good.
It's got to feel great.
He tells me each day, eat, eat, eat every single day. And I think that's a motto for every single day. Just eat.
Nice.
I like that. Well, he's a fellow Italian, so I was told that my whole life. Mangia, mangia,
Yeah.
mangia.
Manja, manja, manja.
So how old are you?
I'm actually 13, and I'm going to be going 8th grade at the
That's exciting. And I know you're hanging out in Florida for a hot minute before you go back to California, and you say it's really hot here.
Yes, right.
It's so hot. He's not used to the humidity.
Yeah.
Well, listen, father, son, this is such a beautiful sight to see.
Thank
It's
you,
such a
Brody.
pleasure meeting you. Thank you for coming into the studios
meeting you too.
today. Yeah, this is awesome. Brody, as always, you're a rock star. Thank you for working all the
Yeah.
magic behind the scenes and jumping in with some great questions. And until next time,
All
we'll
right,
see you on the Bloom Health Club.